Welcome to a video on how to get good at Ashe, perhaps the hero whose kit can tilt the enemy team off the face of the earth faster than Stylosa releasing a video on some small detail that he thought everyone missed. Let's get started. Ashe is a DPS hero and is equipped with several abilities that, if used correctly, will piss everyone who dares to challenge you right off. Her rifle consists of two different firing modes, depending on whether or not you are firing from the hip or aiming down sights. The hip fire on her rifle, whilst it is useful in a pinch for dealing with someone that is trying to suck you off, generally does not perform well at anything beyond close range, mainly thanks to its large spread and harsh drop-off distance. So it's strongly suggested to not rely on this inconsistent piece of shit to do your job. Instead, what takes the spotlight is the scoped fire, which, whilst noticeably slower in terms of fire rate, allows for much higher potential damage per shot, as well as having no spread and a longer damage drop-off distance. Another great thing that the scoped fire can do is a massive 150 damage for a headshot at close range, which by itself is a lot of damage. But this also means that traces are killed by a single shot to the skull, allowing you to tell that LGBT representative to piss off and to mind their own fucking business when you're around. Though all of this power for a primary fire does come at a cost, however, as her weapon is not only semi-automatic, but when it comes to reloading, you have to reload each bullet individually rather than loading an entire magazine at once. Be sure to constantly reload when not in fights, as if you let your ammo drop to 0, then it will take almost 4 entire fucking seconds to reload the entire clip to full. Moving on to her first ability, known as the coach gun. This get out of jail free card causes Ashe to pull out a sawed-off shotgun and fire it, knocking herself back, as well as knocking away any degenerate shit who decided to get in your way. You can use this get out of jail free card to either evade the first sign of danger at a moment's notice, push some poor idiot off a cliff away from the objective, or in rare cases, using it as a finishing blow, given that it has a large spread, meaning it is next to impossible to miss unless you're a proud representative of Team Dipshit. But her next ability is what boils the blood of any players against her, an ability that is so unbelievably bullshit that you'd think Blizzard were doing crack when they were making it. Ashe's second ability tosses out a stick of dynamite that either detonates shortly after hitting the ground or instantly if you decide to shoot it. Upon the dynamite exploding, it will not only deal up to 50 damage depending on how close they were, but if they were caught in the explosion, regardless of how close or far away they were from the center, they will be set on fire for the next 5 seconds, taking a total of 100 damage over that time. This shit is arguably one of the best ways to gain ultimate charge, as simply chucking this into a group of enemies picking their own asses and blowing it up will grant you your ultimate faster than Yandir Dev banning someone from his Discord server, all because they asked about the progress of Yandir Simulator. Though, on the topic of her ultimate, Ashe's ultimate is not only powerful in terms of what it can do, but is also powerful purely for who is summoned from pressing the ultimate button. Ashe's ultimate calls in her big Omnic boy, otherwise known as Bob. When initially summoned, Bob will drop from the high heavens and will full on charge forwards, not stopping at all until he either hits a wall or an enemy. If Bob collides with an enemy, he will spank them high into the air, dealing 120 damage to them. It is important that Bob is sent to a place that gives him tons of space to shoot at the enemy orphans and doesn't end up making him run off the cliff to his death, as he is unable to stop until he hits something. Once Bob comes to a standstill, he will then begin shooting at any degenerate shit he sees with almost flawless precision. As while Bob doesn't exactly have the highest damage output, he makes up for it by having 1200 fucking hit points, which is more than the monkey when he's gone ape shit. This massive ass health pool means that unless every enemy decides to shoot at him, he will be able to eat a load of damage and give not a single shit about it. Bob will shoot for approximately 10 seconds before deciding to fuck off. Bob also functions as the 7th player on your team, meaning that he can contest and capture objectives, push payloads, and even be given damage buffs by your local Mercy main. Bob can easily be a lifeline to rely on for if none of your teammates decide to get on the fucking objective. One thing to be aware of, however, is that if a Sombra is able to hack your Bob, then they will be completely disabled for 5 seconds, effectively removing him from the fight. Thanks to this guide, you will now be able to pub stomp the enemy team, not only by yourself but by Bob as well, the only teammate you can rely on. Be sure to watch out for the Baptiste Get Good next week. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more shit like this. Have fun.